We're here with actor Andrew Nicholls. Why don't you talk a little bit about when you first decided you wanted to become an actor, and when did you first seriously pursue it?
Um, I first decided to start acting. I went to college for cinematography at Northeastern in Boston, and they had this co-op program, like an internship program, where you leave school for 6 months, and they try to help you get a job in a field that you chose in school. So I interned with NBC at 30 Rock in New York, and I just worked for the digital studios with doing online content, all behind the scenes type of stuff. And on my off time, I used to go watch the rehearsals for Saturday Night Live and Conan, and I remember everybody having such a good time. And I said to myself, I was like, it just felt like that was what I wanted to be doing. I remember I watched a full rehearsal with Jeremy Piven, who was like the guest host, and it was unbelievable. And they were all having just a blast in rehearsals, and I'm like, that's what I would like my life to be eventually. So I decided, when I went back to school, I took up theater as a minor. I jammed in as many classes as I could, and I made the switch from behind the scenes. I was editing, doing like studio stuff, and I made the switch to acting. So after I graduated, I immediately moved to Los Angeles and threw myself into the fire.
And what experiences did you get out in Los Angeles that were different from here in New York? Because now you're kind of bi-coastal.
Yes, in Los Angeles, like I threw myself to the wolves because I didn't know anything. All my experience was kind of in the classroom and just from the outside looking in. But when I went to Los Angeles and I got thrown to the wolves, into auditions, into just the hectic nature of being on set and how technical film and television is. It was quite an experience getting hooked up with an agency, avoiding the wrong people, trying to put yourself in front of the right people, trying to do things the right way. That's what kind of LA gave me a lot of like real deal experience.
Did your schooling help you as an actor because you knew the behind the scenes?
Oh, definitely. There is a lot that I took from cinematography and media studies. I can edit my own reels. I can edit scenes together. I know how important audio is. Just all those other things that go into putting good work together. It's really beneficial to have that type of experience and work as well.
Now talk a little bit about the roles that you have performed, and what is one that has stuck out with you that you remember the most?
The role that's stuck out for me the most was probably my first television speaking role, which was on Taste of Our Lives. I played a drug dealer, and it was so funny. It was, even though it was just a small part, I had to audition against a lot of people. It was real nerve-wracking, and you don't have a lot of credits. And when I got the call telling me that they wanted me to do it, I did it. It was so funny because you can have 10 pages of dialogue, and sometimes that's a lot easier than having 5 lines of dialogue because you just get in your own head, and you're working with well-established soap actors, and here you are just trying to step on there, and you just don't even want to be noticed. You just want to get in, do a good job. Hopefully it's 1 at most 2 takes, and that's it. Fortunately, it went very well, and it was a very memorable experience. Even something so small for my friends and my mom to see me on, just to kind of validate how many years I put into it. It was really nice.
And speaking of soap operas, your best friend Rob Wilson is now starring on All My Children. You help him bounce back and forth with his scripts. What's it like for you to not only help a fellow actor do that, is it helping you improve your acting by bouncing off him? Is it kind of like a class for you guys both? Because I know he's interested in improving his acting as well.
Absolutely. I think the experience obviously has been life-changing for him, and it's really so great to see somebody, like, we started on this together. I met Rob in Boston my senior year of college. We moved out to LA at the same time. We were auditioning together, we'd help each other out with taped auditions, and it's so nice to see what it's like from somebody to elevate from my level to the next level, and I'm really happy for him. And helping him is indirectly, it's just like almost getting classes for free. I'm getting professional scripts, and I'm helping him as much as I can with them. And then sometimes having to play play his mother and his love interest aren't the easiest things to do, but I do what I can and make the best out of it. And it's great. And there's so much work. It's every day. Every day's a new script. My cold reading is getting a heck of a lot better.
And now, what projects are you interested in pursuing? Now that you go back and forth a lot between LA and New York, are you interested in pursuing theater here in New York, and and plus you can go back to Boston since it's so close to New York?
Yeah. Between Boston, Los Angeles, and New York, I'm looking forward to trying. I know this sounds kind of a little weird, but cracking into film and television in New York, which I know a little more niche, a lot more independent films and stuff like that. That's something that I really want to do. I really want to put more work out there, and I really would love to do it in New York because this is where I grew up, and there's just something about doing what you want to do in your hometown where you grew up in front of your family and friends. There's a dream line. Really, my dream was to go out to Los Angeles and book enough work that would bring me back to New York. It didn't exactly happen that way, but I did gain a lot of experience out there. But I would love to come here and do some independent films, get a role in a couple TV shows that the TV and film business has picked up here in New York. And after that, I would like to hit the theater.
Now, what advice would you give to someone who's starting out in the business? Much like yourself, you're not just starting out, but you're also not at the pinnacle, obviously, of your career in any way.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to somebody who's just at that first point where they may want to give up? You've been pounding the pavement and have seen success in gaining roles.
Obviously, I'm still at the developmental stages of my career. A few things, and I've learned a heck of a lot. But if for somebody just starting out, that stick-to-itiveness that is just, you're going to get knocked down more times than they even told you. You know how they told you, oh, you're going to get knocked down even more than that. There's a lot of no's, and the no's don't even come with answers. You just have to have the security on the inside knowing that your time will come. Like, I've seen with my own two eyes somebody who's ascended and somebody who's flatlined and people who just give up. But eventually everybody will get their opportunity to make good on what they do. They just have to stick to it.
And what's the hardest part been for you personally?
The hardest part for me is the uncertainty of not knowing exactly what's next. There are a lot of people, I had to make a decision. Do you want to go down the arts path and pursue what you want to do in life, or do you want to live that steady, secure lifestyle, which I could have done? And there's just like there's an uneasy feeling about not knowing what's going to happen in your future. And I think for me, that's been the hardest thing. But for the most part, you just have to try to stay positive. There's not really another choice, and you continue to work hard, try not to be lazy, and eventually, whether it's at 22, 28, 33, 40, you will get your chance to crack through. How many times do you see people accepting awards who legitimately are over the age of 50, and the look on their face is still priceless, and you can tell that it was totally worth that journey that they were on.
If there was one role you could pick to play, either already an established role or one that you would create for yourself, what would it be?
I was always told by one of my acting teachers that your first instinct's always the right one, and Brad Pitt's character in Ocean's 11 just came to my head. When you asked that question, that was just the first thing that came to my head. So that's definitely something I'd like to do. A smooth talking, ladies' man with an edge. That's kind of.
Now, is that going to be a stretch for you, or are you gonna? We'll end it there without you getting yourself in trouble. But we really appreciate you taking the time to do this, and Andrew, we look forward to seeing you in a lot of things coming up. And
I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.